Hello friends, TechManPat here. Today I want to talk about a privacy policy recently released and actually just updated by TPG. Now the reason I want to talk about this is because I saw some chatter on Reddit about this exact update, and I think there's probably some clarifying information we can share with you now and compare it to the actual telecommunications policies that the government has put out and how far TPG actually follows it. But there are some things that I want to highlight that are kind of problematic, and I think those parts are missed by people talking about the amount of marketing content that all of a sudden TPG is going to send them. So this new privacy policy updated today, it'll come in effect from the 1st of May. Now I've highlighted the bits that I wanted to talk about. I will put the link below where you can read, but let's have a look at this. The first one is the marketing and communication changes. We have made a change to the way personal information is collected about you is shared with our other companies in the TPG Telecom group. This information may be used to contact you with marketing about products and services offered by other TPG Telecom companies that do not currently provide you with products or services. If you have opted out of marketing, your opt-out continues to apply. So there is an opt-out link, and the link is here called this form. And if we I might just open that in a new tab. And if we follow this tab, we can put our email and phone number and unsubscribe from that. That's not a problem. It's pretty standard for companies to just let you unsubscribe from their marketing content. It's required by law, obviously. And so when this happens, an update like this doesn't really affect you if it's updated. Now, there are other things that I think are pretty important. Let's talk about what TPG collects, what kind of information they know about you, and what kind of expectations they have that you will provide them with this information. And then I want to highlight some of the things that are concerning. First of all, your standard things like your date of birth, contact details. Fair enough. Your physical address, well, if they're providing you internet services, then they'll have to give that to you. And if you're paying for said services, your bank account or credit card details for direct debit. Now, this one here is always interesting, information relating to your credit worthiness. If you're prepaying for something, I don't think it's fair to look at people's credit history. At the end of the day, if you haven't paid for a service upfront for the month, they should just disconnect you. Fair. But if you're getting something on, let's say, a contract that you're paying off a device when you get a phone, absolutely fine. So just keep that in mind. I only highlighted it because it's necessary if you're getting a device on loan. This one here, what you tell us about the product, services, or lifestyle activities you like or how you like to use our products and services. Now this is obviously information that you provide, happily or without real question as to what they're going to do with it. If you tell them this information, they'll use it. So keep that in mind. Details about your account, including password and username. This I think is a massive issue. They should not be putting this bit right here saying including your password. All companies around the world talk about how we will never ask you for your password. And here is TPG saying they will ask you for your password. Potentially, they're masking it in details about your account. But if I was phishing for somebody, I could literally link them to this page and say, look, we are allowed to ask for your password. It says right here. And to the layman, it might be, that says, including password. Yeah, okay. So first of all, never give out your password to anyone. And I think TPG should rephrase that a little bit better. Next, information about you that you provide us directly or indirectly when online information you provide us through surveys. So obviously, if you are doing surveys provided by TPG, they can use that information. It's probably something a lot of people don't think about when they answer those surveys. Hey, win a $100 voucher if you provide it. Well, a lot of the information goes back to companies like this. This one is concerning because of the topics. Some of the information that we collect may be sensitive information, for example, information about your health. Why does TPG need to know about my health? Why? Race? Why? Ethnic origin? Again, why? My religious beliefs? Or your biometric information for facial recognition verification? What am I going to be using my face to verify with a TPG telecom company? This is by far probably the most concerning, but there is another one that's a little bit more concerning. This is ridiculous. I know they might accidentally collect this, but there needs to be a way for it to not be collected. But look, if you answer a survey and you say, what's your race, or have you been sick in the last 6 months? And yeah, obviously they're going to have some information about your health. Adding on to the back of that, they say, if we need this type of information, we will ask you for permission, except where otherwise allowed or required by law. I don't know why they would be referring to that, because in the first place, some of the information that we collect may be sensitive. So I'm not sure if they'll ever ask, but they will ask for your permission. So hopefully that's okay. They won't outright go, hey, what's your religious beliefs? Now, a lot of people have been talking and touting the issue that they collect information about you, about your phone numbers, who you're calling, and things like that. And that's true, they do. In this section right here, we may also collect phone numbers that you call or send messages to, phone numbers that you receive calls and messages from, the date and time, the length of the calls and messages you send or receive with us. Also, your location at the time of these calls and messages, information about the level of service you receive. This may include details of network faults, and that's okay. I don't see an issue with that. Obviously, the phone numbers, well, you know, on your bill, you do see the phone numbers and messages you've sort of sent to which phone number, not the messages directly. And then information about your use of services. So obviously network information, that's okay. The operating system you use, that seems to be fine. You're on an Android or iPhone or a Mac or a Windows. Our apps or online portals, call centers, web chat services, and stores. So if you are using any of those apps that are theirs, then obviously they'll have information and collect information about you. Again, you use their services, they have the right to use your information and do what they wish with it, which is usually just selling it or giving it to their other TPG telecom companies. And we'll look at the list of that in a second. This one here is probably the most concerning one, and that's websites you visit and online searches you do. This includes the date, time, and length of your internet browsing and your location at the time. For further information, please see the section how we use online identifiers below. TPG, as a provider of internet, should not be looking at my internet history or my searches or the websites I visit. They're providing internet service. And again, I'm looking at this from an NBN point of view. But if you're using TPG's mobile services, how dare they look at what you're looking at and then trying to sell you on it? After all, Google already does that. So, you know, they should get that information from Google, advertise it via Google. I don't care. I use Google services while I'm online. But here they are, websites you visit and online searches you do. I think that's concerning. Now, around this, there are some laws. Let's have a quick look at that. The Telecommunications Interception Access Amendment Data Retention Act 2015. And I've highlighted the section of what they're actually allowed to by law or have to by law capture: the subscribers and account service, telecommunication devices, and other relevant services relating to the relevant service. So obviously information like billing information, payment information, things like that. The source of communication identifies the related account services, devices from which the communication has been sent by the means of the relevant service. The destination, so phone numbers, date and time communication. And furthermore, we've got the type of communication. So obviously it's voice, SMS, email, chat, forum, social media, the type of relevant services, ADSL, Wi-Fi, VoIP, cable, and so on, LTE. And then the location, so the location of equipment, the line of the start of communication, the location of the equipment line at the end of the communication, cell towers, Wi-Fi hotspots, and so on. This is all required to be captured by law. And then at the request of, I don't know, law enforcement, for example, TPG can actually give this information out. Now, should they be giving out websites you visit? Maybe, I don't know. I think that is a pure invasion of privacy. You know what? I haven't seen this line in another RSP's provider who provides internet. I haven't seen a line like this that they say website you visit or online searches you do. Aussie Broadband has a nice little write-up about this, and they do not store or look at the information of the websites you visit, but they'll see obviously that you're logged in on the computer and you're browsing the internet and how much bandwidth you are using. I'm going to skip through one of these because there is one more section here, and that is, do we disclose your personal information outside of Australia? And the answer is yes, they do. Obviously, there are companies within the Vodafone group and obviously the TPG group they share information with. And the locations apparently are UK, Germany, Italy, Egypt, and India, and companies in Hong Kong. So far, none of these countries are in issue per se. And then TPG's group data hosting and other service provider located in Fiji, Canada, the European Union, which is great. They've got great privacy laws. UK, India, Japan, New Zealand, the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, South Africa, Indonesia, and the US. And the list of companies that obviously are allowed to see your information. One of the ones I saw here is Saul Patterson Telecommunication. I thought they were a pharmacy. Yeah, I mean, all of these companies right here can and usually do see your information so they can sell services to you. So has TPG's change of privacy policy been a massive issue? I don't think so. From reading it and checking through it, I don't think it's that big, and people crying out that now they're going to get sent more marketing content, I don't think they will. But the concerning part is just what's already in there. I think the biggest one is what websites and searches you do. I think we have recently taken privacy a little bit more seriously, but it's still been very lax by the customers. And there are companies out there who obviously provide a little bit more privacy than others. And I think if people are going to start deciding which RSP they choose for their internet provider, I think privacy is actually one of the reasons to look at them. I mean, price would probably be the same. The performance is going to be the same. It's a wholesale price specifically for NBN. And at the end of the day, there's not too much differentiating factors. And maybe privacy is one of those differentiating factors. Friends, let me know what you think below. Have you guys read any privacy policies before you choose an internet provider or a mobile provider? I'd love to hear about that. Comment below and I'll catch you on another one. Thanks. Bye.